In today's news, active cases dropped below 100 as the BVI records 3 new COVID-related deaths. And Premier Andrew Foy says that opposition leader Penn should stop defaming the names of local businesses. And we also see Dr. Pickering refusing to disclose why the airport expansion project failed. And the BVI FinTech training program now available at the Robert Matavius Institute at the HLSCC Community College. With viewers, these and more stories when 284 News returns.
Live stream cable TV is here with CCT Live. Access over 80 channels that you can watch either at home or when you're on the go. And don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Rewind and watch in your own time. Come to CCT today and ask about our 1-month free trial offer. CCT Live. Bring it home.
Well, welcome everyone. It's Thursday, February 10th, 2022. I'm Kamal Haynes, coming to you live from the beautiful British Virgin Islands. A happy Thursday to one and all, and thank you so much for joining us. Well, we start today's newscast on the subject of COVID-19. Well, active COVID-19 cases are under 100 for the first time in the British Virgin Islands since December 2021, as the territory also recorded 3 new COVID-related deaths. Well, this was confirmed in an epidemiological summary from the Ministry of Health dated Wednesday, February 9th. Well, according to the report, the total active cases in the BVI now stands at 81, following 163 recoveries and 69 new cases. Of the 81 cases, 63 are on Tortola, 13 on Virgin Gorda, and 5 on Jost van Dyke. 31 of the positive cases are local cases and 7 contacts of cases, while the remaining 43 were detected during travel screening. Well, the report also indicated that the territory now has a total of 61 COVID-related deaths, but this is an increase from the 58 which was reported by the Ministry of Health on Monday. Well, meanwhile, viewers, there are presently 9 hospitalized persons. Well, obviously, this is great news for the territory as we continue to see a steady decline in active positive cases. Well, viewers, moving on, where Premier Andrew Foy has called on the opposition leader Marlon Penn to stop playing games with the names of local businesses. Well, the Premier's comments follow Penn's most recent quest to have Premier Foy disclose the details of a $786,000 air conditioning contract, which was awarded to Quality Air Conditioning and Refrigeration for the multipurpose sports complex on Tortola in 2021. Well, at a press conference on Wednesday, February 2nd, Penn said he had substantiating evidence to support his claim that the lowest bidder for the contract, which was another local company, which bidded $300,000 lower than the winning bidder. Well, according to Penn, he said that they overlooked the local company, which has some over 25 years of experience in the air conditioning sector, and despite bidding considerably lower than the winning bidder, the company's bid was disqualified after allegedly not writing the figure of the bid in words. Penn therefore questioned the disparity between the 2 bids and called on the Premier to bring forward all the information relevant to the contract and the bidding process.
I think first and foremost, I think the Premier needs to put that information out. I think he made a statement saying that we are somehow trying to divide BVII landers with this issue. Me in particular, he made his comments towards the 2 persons in question of Virgin Islander Company. The one who had the lowest bid has over 25 years experience in that industry. And if you have someone, if that person is off, they can't be that far off with 25 years experience in an industry. So it means that it's questionable what happened with that particular scenario. We need to get to the bottom of it. The Premier needs to put out the procurement details, the tender details of that particular project. If he's saying that we're not being truthful and accurate with the information, put it out. Put out the information that's specific to that. And I believe the Auditor General has a responsibility to ensure that the resource of this territory is spent in a way that's in the best interest of the territory. And we have a responsibility as an opposition as well, as a Public Accounts Committee, to discuss these issues and ensure that is accountability with the resources that is spent by government and keep them honest as a government. So the details need to come out. I have the evidence that suggests that this contract is $300,000 more than the lowest bidder, who has over 25 years experience in this industry.
Well, in response to Penn's comments, the Premier said that the opposition leader was being reckless with his recurring comments on the subject matter. He said he saw no reason why Penn should be spewing such defamatory information since, as a member of the Public Accounts Committee, he has the access to contracts issued by the government.
I welcome those who are trying to tarnish the name of those public officers and of the contractor to go ahead and do their investigation and stop coming in the public domain to try to destroy the people of the Virgin Islands who build up their businesses, whether it is the one that received the contract or the one not. The leader of the opposition is the leader of the Public Accounts Committee. So he doesn't have to be on the radio, blah, blah, blahing, trying to destroy anybody's name. Go and do your work. Go to the public accounts, call it like you do with anything that's projects under us, but leave out those when he was in there. Go and ask for the record of this. And he would see the process. He would even see what the Attorney General wrote on this, because we saw it when it reached the cabinet. And he would recognize, stop playing games with people's business name, but they got a contract $300,000 more than the other one. There are clear explanations from the technical people on this project that should have been done quite a while ago. I am wondering if it has anything to do with the project or if it's really about politics, because I do not see how someone that's supposed to be responsible can continue to try to destroy a local contractor without the proof in hand.
Well, Premier Foy also briefly explained the process that the contract went through prior to the approval.
The process was a tender that it went out. Anyone could have applied. Companies applied, and 2 companies applied.
Yes.
The process went through the tender, Central Tender Board, and when it went through the Central Tender Board, and it's a project that was hanging on quite a while because there were different
two aspects to the contract. There was a refurbished aspect,
yes,
and there was a replacement aspect.
Right.
Okay.
And I don't want to preempt the people of the Virgin Islands with certain parts of it. I challenging the leader of opposition to go and do his work. But I also want to say that the local contractors should not sit back and allow anybody, whether Premier, leader of opposition, anyone, to destroy their business name like I am seeing the attempt here. That is not BVI love at all. And that is something that should be definitely nipped in the bud. It is wrong.
Well, viewers, that was the Premier and Minister of Finance, Honorable Andrew A. Foy. And obviously, viewers, we will keep you updated as more continues to unfold with that developing story. Well, viewers, up next, Dr. Pickering refuses to disclose why the airport expansion project failed, and the BVI FinTech training program now available at the Robert Batavius Institute at the H. Lavity Stout Community College. Well, these and more stories when 284 News return.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a brand new season of The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, a show poised to help guide modern-day men into 21st century distinguished gentlemen. It doesn't always involve suits and, bow ties, but raw, real-life lessons that translate to grounded, community-minded, well-rounded men. This season, I'm taking you on an entirely different journey, from chefs to dancers, philanthropists, communications specialists, and much more. I'm heading outside in the field to share the journey of some of the BVI's best and brightest men. From East End to West End, Bojangada, Jackson Lake, not forgetting Anigata. Our Virgin Islands gentlemen are doing the damn thing, and I'm so proud. Get ready to reason, reflect, and redirect. We are the movers and shakers of this generation, and we ain't afraid to show it. The Art of a Distinguished Gentleman, Season 3 by yours truly, Ron Grant, raising a generation of greatness.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, former Deputy Premier and Minister of Natural Resources and Labor, Dr. Pickering, has refused to disclose why the plans for the development of the Beef Island Airport halted at the tender process stage after approximately $10 million of taxpayers' money had already been spent. Well, Dr. Pickering came under heavy questioning on the subject matter after his recent appearance on the Honestly Speaking radio program with host Claude Skelton-Klein. Well, during his interview, the former minister, who was responsible for the expansion of the airport at the time, said he accepted full responsibility for the failure of the project, which saw approximately $10 million being expended into several pre-development researches and feasibility studies.
Let me just say right off the bat that any failure that, with respect and regards to the airport development, I have to take, if not all that we blame, full responsibility. It was my portfolio, and I was the one who should have gotten it done. So I'm not here to lay blame on anybody's feet or to cast aspersions or anything. Both individually and collectively, we failed as a government to get the airport project done.
Well, despite accepting full responsibility for the failure of the project, which occurred under the National Democratic Party administration, when grilled by Klein as to why the project failed to pass the tender process, Dr. Pickering declined to answer.
At what point was an entity chosen for the development of the airport?
Well, you see, that's where I think now we have to halt. An entity was never chosen.
What was chosen?
The tender process went out. And then that's where
everything stopped at the tender process.
After that.
Why?
I wish I could answer.
What do you mean? You were there, you were responsible. What do you mean you wish you could answer?
Exactly that's what I said. Pastor, that I would take responsibility for what I can take responsibility for. I can answer what I can answer, but I have to let you know that cabinet decisions or collective responsibility, and there are certain things that have to remain where they have to remain. And so it would be almost remiss of me to speak on issues that were not public.
Well, viewers, after failing to get a response from the former minister, Klein proceeded to explain what he alleges was the real issue behind the halting of the project, where he claimed that the project was halted because of internal conflict within the National Democratic Party administration.
It is my understanding as a then member of the National Democratic Party that between you as Minister for Natural Resources and Labor, the Minister for Education, Minister Maiawari, and the Minister for Communication and Works, Minister Mark Van Deville, the Minister for Health and Social Development, Minister Ronnie W. Skelton, that amongst the four of you in particular could not see eye to eye with you as minister advancing the development of this airport. And it is the interpersonal relationships, the failure of the interpersonal relationships that stagnates this country to date relative to the development of the airport. True or false?
Pastor, let me just say, because I see you're running out of time.
You want me to run out of time, but I can't afford to run out of time. I'm going to come back to this next week.
Well, I've already issued my disclaimer, and the only thing I can say to you is that that's why you have election cycles, and and that's why people like you are here to bring whatever needs to come to the forefront, and it's left up to you. I've done my part. I've laid out the facts before you, and
so you're taking the fifth on this in the name of cabinet confidentiality. That's what you're telling me.
No, I told you I was issuing a disclaimer. I was very clear on that.
You're issuing a disclaimer?
Yeah, I couldn't answer no matter what you said. I did say that to you.
Well, meanwhile, Dr. Pickering also said that the expansion of the runway at the Terrence B. Lettsome International Airport is critically important for the development of the BVI's economy. Well, he said there is no other choice but to develop the Beef Island Airport if the territory is to remain relevant as a top tourist destination.
But let's put a few things in perspective, Pastor. Let's make sure we understand that there is absolutely no choice with respect to the airport expansion.
Okay.
We have no choice. Everything that I've seen and read, every bit of information that I was privy to with respect to the issue of the airport expansion says that in order for the BVI's economy to move forward, in order for us to build our economy, in order for us to take our economy to whatever next level we were hoping to take it, air access is extremely important. Mm-hmm. It is the number one complaint from people coming to the BVI, both for pleasure and for business. And so the issue with respect to whether we need an airport expansion is not a question anymore. It's something that is accepted, that has to be done.
Well, viewers, yet another interesting story, and we will keep you updated as more comes forward on that story. Well, moving on, viewers, where with the emergence of the digital revolution, financial technology, also referred to as FinTech, has become one of the most important characteristics of today's economy and finance. To ensure that the BVI does not fall behind, the Robert Matavius Institute for Financial Services at the H. Laverty Community College, the National University of Singapore, BVI Finance, and the Ministry of Education have all collaborated to develop a new BVI FinTech training program. 284's Ron Grant sat down with Dr. Derry Hodge of the Robert Matavius Institute and CEO of the BVI Finance, Ms. Elise Donovan, to discuss the FinTech training program. Take a listen.
This program, Mr. Grant, is designed to, I like to say, baptize the participants into the world of FinTech. Many have been exposed to FinTech naturally if you use your computer to do online banking. Some of you are familiar with some of the applications such as Ching. If you're in the US, you've used Zelle and some of the others there. And so we're familiar basically with some of the applications of FinTech, but it's much broader. It involves things such as cryptocurrency, robotic process automation, crowdfunding technologies. And so we want to give persons an opportunity to be exposed to this whole brand new and brave new world of FinTech and to learn some of the key concepts and the usage of FinTech, the back end and front end, the programming concepts that are involved, but also an opportunity to practice FinTech concepts by using and applying those concepts within a local firm. So it's a program designed to immerse persons in FinTech, give them an opportunity to practice FinTech in a local firm, and we're hoping that it'll give persons an opportunity to expand their portfolios in their current working situation, or perhaps consider new careers and new opportunities within FinTech.
Well, the aim of the Robert Matavius Institute at HLSCC is to develop and deliver knowledge and skills through training, career enhancement, personal enrichment, continuing professional development, counseling, advisory and consultancy services to support the human resources needs of the BVI Financial Services jurisdiction.
Okay, so it is an 8-week intensive course. It really has 2 phases. There's a coursework phase that involves 8 weeks of classroom type delivery, and then there's a project phase that involves 1 to 4 months where they do a very practical project within the community. So students will be exposed to 4 modules. Module 1 will be basically a deep dive into FinTech, looking at cases and the theory, the background, the foundation of FinTech, and how really it can be used to improve the way businesses function and how they service their customers. There'll be a second module that will look at design thinking, and this is a problem-solving approach and technique that can then be used to apply FinTech to solving business problems. They'll also be exposed to robotic process automation. Now, this is about Firms often have repetitive manual tasks such as invoicing, data extraction, answering queries, etc. And so we'll be looking at how computers, machine learning, and technology can be used to automate some of those processes. The fourth module or course, because there are 4 modules, is a module that looks at business intelligence and how one can take the massive amounts of data that they receive on a regular basis and interpret that data and turn that data into useful information that then can be used to improve their business. There's an optional module that deals with algo trading. This is the use of computers for investment. And so that's another option that persons can opt for if they take the course. So it's structured to be very intense. It'll be delivered by Zoom twice a week for 8 weeks, 6:30 in the afternoon to 8:30 p.m., 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. And the professors will be lecturing from the National University of Singapore. They are 12 hours ahead of us, Mr. Grant. So they'll be getting up at 6:30 in the morning from Singapore to lecture by Zoom online to students over here, 6:30 in the afternoon.
Understood.
Well, viewers, for more information on that interview, please go to our Facebook page and our website page at 284media.com for the full details of that very informative interview with my colleague, Ron Grant. Well, viewers, we head to a quick commercial break, and when we return, we have another local story as well as a top regional story. Bye-bye.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media at cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
The wait is over! CCT Fire is here! Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire, bring it home and upgrade today.
Well, welcome back, viewers. Well, a flyer circulating across the territory of the Virgin Islands titled Justice for KK has signaled a call from residents as to how and why murder-accused Alcedo Tyson, who was in prison at Balsam Gut awaiting a new trial for the 2012 murder of his former girlfriend, Kawana Todd Reimer, has been granted bail by a High Court judge. Well, based on documents reaching our newsroom, Tyson was granted bail in the sum of $200,000, signed surety with strict conditions. But the application for bail was heard and granted by Justice Richard Floyd last week after Tyson's attorney, Michael Maduro, presented the application to the court. Well, a written judgment is expected from Justice Floyd soon, explaining the arguments considered and the reason behind his judgment. Well, viewers, after allegedly shooting Kawana KK Todd Reimer to her death in the parking lot of the CYS Bogus Bay on March 16, 2012, Tyson turned himself over to the police and was arrested and charged, however, pleaded not guilty. He was later convicted of the murder on June 13, 2013 and sentenced to a term of life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. But Tyson's sentence was put aside in November of 2017 after his lawyer successfully appealed on constitutional grounds. Well, the court held that Sections 27B of the Jury Act is unconstitutional due to the extreme disparity it creates to the jury selection process. Well, since then, the successful 2017 appeal, Tyson has been awaiting a new trial. Well, our team of reporters will provide an update when the details of the judgment are received. Well, viewers, moving on to our final story, where Guyana's vice president recently sat down with Vice News, where he alleged that the International Corruption Perception Index used to measure corruption in a country is really a blackness index. Our 284 Neil Douglas has that story.
On Monday, Guyana Vice President Bharat Jagdeo posted a video to his official Facebook page. According to the caption attached to the video, Jagdeo was interviewed by Vice News when he was given the opportunity to set the record straight on a series of misinformation. The approximately 1 hour and 40-minute video shows Jagdeo asserting that developed countries, through mechanisms like the Corruption Perception Index, often disproportionately and unfairly classify developing countries as corrupt.
Yes, first of all, I have a problem with the indices, but we do have real corruption in countries like ours too. So I believe a lot of these, one time, I think this is like a blackness index. The darker you are, the lower you are on the index. The developed countries hardly ever get on this index. And they have more institutional corruption, in my view. When you have a lobbying system where people can lobby for policies, I think that's the most corrupt act in a government. You can get people to lobby and pay lobbyists, and it's accepted to get policy passed. Yes. So I'm talking about that. So first of all, it's a perception index. So they always perceive developing countries as corrupt.
Following this, Vice News directly asked the VP if he has ever taken a bribe, launching into a series of personal corruption allegations.
What about within your government?
Yes.
Do you accept bribes?
No, I don't.
We've spoken to a number of Chinese business people in Guyana who said that you do accept bribes, and they have said that in fact it's the only way to get business done is to bribe you. But one Chinese businessman we spoke to involving timber logging told us that basically as long as the vice president is okay with it, it's fine. He just needs to give one phone call to whoever is in charge. They'll get it done right away. The real big boss is the vice president. Everything is under the table. The whole country is like this.
Yeah, well, I can't comment on that because it would be an anonymous person. You can just sit there and fabricate that. As I said before, a lot of the companies and reporters. But you can if you name the person, that's fine. When the reporters come from abroad, this is their catch you kind of thing. They always want to make a developing country leader look corrupt. So you've done your bit. Unless you say who the person is, I can't comment on anonymous people. I can say, two persons told me before this interview, don't do the interview with Vice News because that is precisely what they will do. They will fabricate something and come and say they spoke with people here.
Well, we're not fabricating
yes,
anything.
But let's talk about let me tell you something. So all my statements are in with the Integrity Commission. The last government, they checked everything about me and they didn't find anything. They checked my bank accounts abroad, they checked everything, they didn't find anything. So there has to be the evidence of it. But you're not bringing evidence, you're saying an anonymous Chinese source. Okay, well, maybe the Chinese company that did not get the agreement that they wanted here, maybe they're the ones who told you. Or it could be just a fictitious thing.
After several attempts to obtain a comment from Jagdeo regarding alleged acts of bribery between the VP and a source referred to as Mr. Su, Jagdeo ultimately stated that Vice News' allegations were accurate in the sense that he helps people.
Yeah, but that is, I don't know about giving back, but I do that to everybody who comes to my office. The American companies come here to see me and they need a meeting. You asked to see me. I have an open door policy since I was president. So people come to see me. But I've had a long history of being in public office and we never had any of this stuff that you talk. And all my accounts are clear. If you are coming here with specifics. So I just heard what you read and that's totally accurate. I help out as many people as I can. That's totally accurate what you read there. Unbelievably accurate. It's accurate. So I help people out, but it doesn't mean for consideration.
The Vice Media Group has yet to publish the interview themselves. Nia Douglas, 284 News.
Well, thank you, Nia. Well, viewers, unfortunately, that's all we have for today's News Roundup. I'm Kamal Haynes. I want you to have a great evening. I have a happy and safe Thursday evening, viewers. I'm Kamal. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.